Hello all and welcome to your skill training video. Today we are going to talk about choice point. So in this essentially what we try to say is while performing any behavior that we do through the day, we begin from a choice point. And from there are behaviors that we engage in which are towards moves, which take us towards what we want to achieve in our life, towards the things that make our life more fuller, richer and more meaningful. And there are a few times when we are able to engage in these toward moves, and there are other things that we do which are like away moves, which take us away from the life that we want to live. And when we are acting ineffectively, behaving unlike the sort of person that we are, these can be doing the things that can make our life worse in the long term. So we can control these away moves now when our lives are going well and things are in control, and it is pretty easy for us to do and choose what we want to do. However, unfortunately, life isn't always that way. And there are multiple times when you're feeling upset or feeling a certain way where you're driven by emotions, end up engaging in these away moves. When things are going bad and we are experiencing emotions like worry, we make catastrophes and we tend to predict the worst outcome possible. We may have thoughts popping up that I'm not good enough, that I'm a failure, and I'll never be able to be successful in my life. Unfortunately, we get very easily hooked by these negative thoughts, and almost every psychological problem from stress to depression to addiction a lot of times boils down in engaging in these away moves which are driven and hooked by a lot of negative emotions and feelings that we are feeling. For some feelings, we do tend to choose away moves. However, there are times when we are able to choose toward moves, and the better we get at doing this, the better our life gets. So that's what this approach is all about, wherein we are going to try and bring in some helpers and try to aid in you being able to perform these toward moves better. In the first step, what we are trying to find out is what are our values, what matters to you as a person, what is it that you care about the most, and use these values to guide and inspire you and motivate you to engage in more toward moves. At the same time, we are also going to teach you a whole bunch of unhooking skills, which will let you identify these hooks faster and to be able to unhook from them very easily. And once we develop this ability to be able to unhook and start engaging in more toward moves, they really matter and can aid in making the quality of our life a lot better, and as we said earlier, make our life a lot richer and way more meaningful. There are more helpers which can also help us along with just these strategies, which are important relationships in our life and domains in our life which matter to us. So at the end of this video, you can download the values PDF if you haven't already, and try to go through these list of values and figure out which are the values that probably hold some meaning to you, that you care about, and which are the values that are not so important to you. At the same time, you can also add more things that are not in the list that we seem to have missed out, and enlist your own values so that it can give you some clarity about what is it that moves you as a person and what will be that will help you engage in more toward moves, and what are the helpers that will essentially aid you in unhooking from these away moves.